Have you ever felt like something inside you has shifted, like the person you once were no longer fits into the world the same way? What happens when that intense period of your spiritual awakening comes to an end? Is everything suddenly clear, or does it leave you with even more questions? These are the moments when things can feel strange, almost otherworldly. You might start to notice the world around you differently, your old desires may seem empty, and even your relationships could change without warning. But what if these strange feelings are signs that you're entering a new phase, one that many never talk about? Have you ever wondered why time starts to feel different after a spiritual awakening? Why do certain people naturally drift away while others enter your life unexpectedly? And what about those unexplained physical sensations like vibrations or tingling? Are they just random, or is there something deeper happening within you? In this video, we're diving into the strange things that happen when your spiritual awakening ends and what they mean for your life going forward. If you've been feeling a bit lost or out of sync with the world lately, don't worry, you're not alone. In fact, you're probably closer to a major breakthrough than you think. Before we get into these strange and fascinating experiences, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future insights that can help guide you on your spiritual path. Let's explore the unknown together. After all, the more we understand, the more we grow. Now let's get started. After a spiritual awakening, something remarkable happens to your awareness. You begin to notice things that seemed invisible before. One of the most common and powerful changes is heightened sensitivity to energies. But what exactly does this mean? Imagine walking into a room and before anyone even speaks, you can already sense the mood. You might feel tension in the air or a sense of calm without knowing why. This sensitivity to the unseen energy around you becomes much stronger after a spiritual awakening. You start to pick up on the vibrations from people, places, and even objects, almost as if you've developed a new sense. For example, have you ever been around someone who seemed to drain your energy, leaving you feeling tired or anxious after just a short conversation? On the other hand, maybe you've met someone who instantly made you feel comfortable and at peace. These experiences are linked to energy fields that everyone has, but after an awakening, you become more aware of these energies on a deeper level. The same thing can happen with places. Certain locations might make you feel uneasy or unsettled, while others feel welcoming and full of positive energy. This awareness is your inner self tuning in to the vibrations that most people overlook. You're no longer just relying on what you see or hear. You're feeling your way through life in a new and profound way. Objects can also carry energy. An old book, a piece of jewelry, or even furniture can hold the vibrations of the people who have used or owned them. After awakening, you may start to feel connected to these objects in ways you can't easily explain. You might feel drawn to certain items or repelled by others, sensing the history and energy they hold. This heightened sensitivity can be both a gift and a challenge. On one hand, it allows you to navigate the world with a deeper understanding, picking up on unspoken cues and energies that can help you make better decisions. On the other hand, it can be overwhelming at times, especially if you're around negative or chaotic energy. But this new level of awareness is part of your spiritual growth. It helps you connect more deeply with yourself and the world around you, guiding you to where you need to be and helping you avoid situations that don't align with your energy. After a spiritual awakening, one of the most noticeable changes is a detachment from material desires. The things that used to excite you, like money, status, or possessions, may no longer hold the same appeal. It's as if the things you once chased suddenly seem less important, and your focus naturally shifts toward deeper, more meaningful pursuits. Before awakening, it's common to seek happiness in external things. Whether it's buying the latest gadgets, climbing the career ladder, or collecting material items, these things often serve as temporary sources of satisfaction. But after a spiritual awakening, you begin to see them for what they are, fleeting pleasures that don't bring lasting fulfillment. The excitement you once felt over a new car, a promotion, or expensive clothes fades, and you start to question what truly matters in life. You may begin to realize that no matter how much you achieve or acquire, it never feels like enough. This is because material things can't fill the deeper spiritual void within. As your consciousness expands, your attention shifts to recognize the interconnectedness of everything around you. You may begin to view life as a series of signs and messages guiding you along your spiritual path, deepening your sense of purpose and connection. It's essential to embrace these synchronicities with an open heart and mind. They can serve as powerful reminders of your alignment with the universe, reinforcing the idea that you are not alone on your journey. By acknowledging and celebrating these moments, you cultivate a sense of gratitude and awareness, allowing the flow of positive energy to continue. As synchronicities become more frequent, you may also find that your intuition sharpens. You might start to trust your gut feelings more readily, recognizing them as guidance from your higher self. This intuitive guidance can help you make decisions that align with your true desires and aspirations, further propelling your spiritual growth. Ultimately, the regular occurrence of synchronicities serves as a beautiful reminder that you are connected to something greater than yourself. Embracing these moments allows you to navigate your spiritual journey with confidence, knowing that the universe supports you at every turn. The world becomes a tapestry of signs and symbols, guiding you toward your highest potential and reinforcing your belief in the magic of life. After a spiritual awakening, many individuals experience a profound shift in their intuition, leading to a remarkable sense of knowing about people, situations, and future outcomes. This intuitive insight often emerges without the need for logical explanations or rational thought, making it a powerful and sometimes mystifying aspect of the post-awakening experience. Before your awakening, you might have relied heavily on analytical thinking, weighing pros and cons, or seeking external validation to make decisions. However, as your spiritual journey unfolds, you may find that your intuition begins to sharpen. This inner knowing can manifest as a gut feeling, a sudden flash of insight, or even an overwhelming sense of certainty about a person or situation. It's as if you have tapped into a deeper part of yourself that can see beyond the surface, perceiving truths that may not be immediately evident. One of the most fascinating aspects of this heightened intuition is its ability to provide clarity about people you encounter. You might find that upon meeting someone new, you have an instant feeling about their character or intentions. This could manifest as a sense of comfort and connection, or, conversely, a feeling of unease that prompts you to be cautious. These intuitive insights can guide your relationships, helping you to navigate connections with greater discernment. You may start to trust these feelings more, recognizing them as reliable indicators of whether someone aligns with your values or if they might pose a challenge to your well-being. Similarly, your ability to perceive situations may also deepen. You might have a sense of what will happen in a given circumstance without needing to analyze all the details. For example, you might feel an inner conviction about a particular job opportunity or a project that resonates with your spirit, even if it seems illogical on paper. This intuitive guidance encourages you to pursue paths that feel right for you, even if they diverge from conventional wisdom or societal expectations. The same goes for your understanding of future outcomes. You may find that you can anticipate how situations will unfold, often without knowing why you feel this way. This foresight can be a valuable asset, helping you to make decisions that align with your highest good. For instance, you might intuitively sense that a certain investment will pay off or that a specific relationship is not meant to last. These insights can guide your choices, empowering you to take actions that resonate with your authentic self. It's important to note that this sense of knowing is often accompanied by a feeling of trust in yourself and the universe. As your spiritual awakening unfolds, you may begin to let go of the need for logical explanations or external validation, allowing you to embrace your intuition wholeheartedly. This shift fosters a deeper connection with your inner wisdom, enabling you to navigate life with a sense of confidence and purpose. While this intuitive knowing can be exhilarating, it may also feel disorienting at times. You might grapple with the challenge of explaining your insights to others who may not understand or resonate with your experiences. It's essential to honor your intuition, even if it defies conventional reasoning. Trusting in your inner guidance can lead to profound personal growth and transformation, as it encourages you to align with your true self and embrace the journey of self-discovery. As you cultivate this heightened sense of knowing, you may also find that it strengthens your connection to the world around you. These tingling sensations may increase, especially during meditation or moments of deep reflection. Another common sensation is vibrations. You might feel as if your entire body or specific areas are vibrating at a subtle or even intense level. These vibrations are often linked to your body adjusting to the heightened spiritual frequencies that you're now in tune with. It's like your physical form is catching up with the changes that have taken place on an energetic level. Many people also report feeling warmth in certain areas, especially around the heart or hands. This warmth is often linked to an increase in spiritual energy flow, particularly through the heart chakra, which governs love, compassion, and empathy. This sensation can bring a sense of comfort and peace, as though your body is healing or being nourished by this new energy. It's important to note that these physical sensations are not a cause for concern. They are simply a part of the spiritual process, a sign that your body is recalibrating and aligning with your new, higher vibrational state. However, it can feel strange or overwhelming at times, especially if you're not used to experiencing energy in such a tangible way. These physical symptoms often occur during moments of spiritual alignment, such as meditation, prayer, or after deep emotional release. They might also happen unexpectedly during daily activities, signaling that your spiritual energy is continuously working to balance and adjust your body. Some people find these sensations uncomfortable or confusing, but they are usually temporary and will fade as your energy field stabilizes. It's helpful to practice grounding techniques, such as walking barefoot on the earth, spending time in nature, or engaging in deep breathing exercises. These practices can help you feel more connected to your physical body while your energy adjusts. In the long run, these physical sensations are a sign that your spiritual and physical bodies are coming into greater alignment. They are a natural part of the awakening process, reminding you that your body is as much a part of your spiritual journey as your mind and soul. As you grow more attuned to these sensations, you'll likely develop a deeper understanding of how energy moves through you, becoming more in sync with your heightened spiritual state. After experiencing a spiritual awakening, many individuals notice that synchronicities become a normal part of their daily lives. What were once considered rare coincidences start to manifest regularly, guiding you with symbols, numbers, and events that feel like they align perfectly with your life's journey. These occurrences can be both exciting and mystifying, as they often feel like a direct communication from the universe, affirming that you are on the right path. At its core, synchronicity refers to meaningful coincidences that appear to be connected in a way that transcends mere chance. For instance, you might think of an old friend and suddenly receive a text from them, Or you could be contemplating a significant life decision when you see a number repeatedly, such as 111 or 222. These moments feel like little nudges from the universe, affirming that you're exactly where you need to be. As you navigate your spiritual journey, you may become more aware of the signs around you. Numbers may stand out more prominently, like seeing 1111 on the clock, often interpreted as a reminder to pay attention to your thoughts and intentions at that moment. These recurring numbers can serve as affirmations that your desires are manifesting or that you are in tune with your higher self. For example, you might frequently encounter the number 7, which is often associated with spiritual growth, reflection, and introspection, urging you to connect deeper with your inner wisdom. Symbols can also play a significant role in these synchronicities. You might stumble across a butterfly, which often symbolizes transformation and spiritual growth, just when you are contemplating a major life change. Or you may see a feather, a common sign that your spirit guides are nearby, encouraging you to trust your instincts. These symbols can serve as reminders to stay aligned with your purpose and intuition, reinforcing the connection you have with the spiritual realm. Events may also synchronize with your thoughts and feelings, creating a sense of flow in your life. You might find that when you're feeling particularly down or uncertain, an unexpected event, like meeting a kind stranger or receiving a compliment, seems to appear at just the right moment to lift your spirits. These occurrences can feel serendipitous, as if the universe is orchestrating events to support you during challenging times. Initially, these synchronicities may feel rare, almost magical, but as you become more attuned to them, they can start to feel like a regular part of your existence. This heightened awareness shifts your perception, allowing you. However, this process is actually a form of liberation. As you shed the layers of your old identity, you become more aligned with your true self, the part of you that exists beyond societal expectations and external labels. You start to see yourself not as a collection of titles or achievements, but as a spiritual being having a human experience. This deeper awareness brings a sense of freedom and peace, as you are no longer bound by the need to fit into predefined boxes. It's important to note that losing your old identity doesn't mean you stop functioning in the world or abandon your responsibilities. Instead, you approach life from a different place, no longer attached to the idea of who you should be. You might continue to play the roles of a parent, professional, or friend, but with less emphasis on defining yourself through them. Your focus shifts inward, allowing you to connect more deeply with your true essence and the things that genuinely matter to you. Ultimately, this loss of identity is not a loss at all. It's the beginning of discovering your authentic self, one that is not limited by ego or the pressures of society. It allows you to live with greater clarity, purpose, and inner peace as you become more aligned with the essence of who you truly are. After a spiritual awakening, many people experience sudden changes in relationships. As your spiritual vibration rises and you grow in awareness, the dynamics you once had with certain people may begin to shift. This is because the frequency at which you operate, your thoughts, energy, and intentions, becomes more aligned with your inner truth, and relationships that no longer serve this growth can start to naturally fade away. In the past, you may have bonded with people based on shared interests, routines, or even mutual insecurities. But after awakening, you're likely to find that these connections feel different. Conversations that once energized you might now feel draining or superficial. Relationships that were centered around material pursuits or societal norms might no longer resonate, leaving you questioning why you were connected in the first place. This process of shifting relationships can happen suddenly. Some friendships or partnerships may fade without any major conflict, while others could end abruptly, creating emotional turbulence. It's not uncommon to feel a sense of loss or confusion during this time. You may wonder why people who were once so close to you seem distant or uninterested. The truth is, as you evolve, not everyone will be able to keep pace with your spiritual growth, and that's okay. This doesn't mean that the people leaving your life are bad, or that the relationships were never meaningful. They simply served a purpose for a certain stage of your journey, and as you move forward, different connections become necessary for your continued growth. It's as if you're being energetically guided toward relationships that are more aligned with your new frequency. On the other hand, this shift in relationships also creates space for more soul-level connections to enter your life. As you become more in tune with your authentic self, you attract people who share similar values, outlooks, and spiritual vibrations. These new relationships tend to be more meaningful and supportive, allowing you to connect with others on a deeper level. Conversations may feel more uplifting, and the bonds you form will likely be based on mutual respect, understanding, and growth. It's important to recognize that these changes are part of your spiritual evolution. Letting go of old relationships can be difficult, but it also paves the way for healthier, more aligned connections. This process teaches you to honor your own growth while embracing the natural ebb and flow of relationships in your life. In the end, these shifts in relationships are a reflection of the journey you're on, a path toward greater self-awareness, purpose, and connection with others who resonate with your true self. While it may be challenging at first, this transformation opens the door to more fulfilling and spiritually aligned relationships, bringing you closer to those who truly support and uplift your soul's journey. After a spiritual awakening, it's common to experience unexplained physical sensations that can feel strange or even unsettling at first. These sensations often include tingling, vibrations, or a feeling of warmth moving through your body. While these experiences might seem unusual, they are actually a sign that residual spiritual energy is realigning your body's frequencies as you adjust to a higher state of consciousness. One of the most frequent sensations is a tingling feeling, often in the hands, feet, or head. This can feel like a gentle buzzing or light electricity coursing through specific parts of your body. It usually occurs when your energy centers or chakras are becoming more active and open. As your spiritual energy flows more freely, people who haven't had the same experience, it's important to remember that this feeling of separation is a normal part of the spiritual awakening process. As your consciousness expands, you become more aware of the deeper layers of life, and this shift can naturally create a sense of distance from the old you and the world that was built around that version of yourself. However, feeling like an outsider doesn't mean you'll always be isolated. As you continue on your spiritual journey, you're likely to attract new people into your life who resonate with your new energy. These people will share your deeper interests and perspectives, creating connections that feel more aligned with your true self. Over time, you may also find ways to reconnect with old friends and family on a different level, as they come to understand and appreciate the changes you've undergone. While it may feel lonely at times, this phase is an essential part of your growth. It allows you to step into your new identity and embrace the path ahead, even if it feels unfamiliar. Ultimately, feeling like an outsider is a sign that you're evolving into a more authentic version of yourself. After a spiritual awakening, you may find yourself experiencing a profound increase in empathy and compassion. This isn't just about feeling bad for someone when they're going through a hard time. It's a deeper, almost instinctual understanding of others' emotions and suffering. You might suddenly become much more attuned to the pain of those around you, feeling their struggles as if they were your own. This heightened empathy comes from a shift in your perspective. During and after a spiritual awakening, you begin to see the world and the people in it with more depth. You understand that everyone is going through their own journey, often dealing with challenges and pain that aren't visible on the surface. Because of this, you might feel a natural inclination to help, comfort, or guide those who are in emotional distress, even without them asking. For instance, you may notice a friend or family member struggling, and instead of offering surface-level advice, you find yourself drawn to providing emotional support on a deeper level. You might sit with them in their pain, listening with genuine care and offering a space for them to be vulnerable. Your words become more thoughtful and heartfelt, and your presence more comforting as you intuitively sense what they need. This increased empathy can also extend to strangers or even animals. You might feel compelled to help someone in need, whether it's through volunteering, offering a kind word, or simply being there for someone who seems lonely or overwhelmed. Acts of compassion start to feel like a natural part of who you are, rather than something you consciously have to think about. On the flip side, this heightened empathy can sometimes be overwhelming. You might absorb the emotions of others more easily, feeling drained or emotionally affected by their suffering. Learning to balance this sensitivity with self-care is an important part of your spiritual journey. It's important to find ways to protect your own energy while still offering compassion to those who need it. Ultimately, this increased empathy and compassion is one of the most beautiful outcomes of a spiritual awakening. It allows you to connect with others on a deeper level, offering kindness and support in a world that often feels disconnected. This shift in your heart helps create more meaningful relationships and opens you up to a life filled with love and purpose. After a spiritual awakening, one of the most profound shifts is the experience of loss of identity or ego. This can feel disorienting at first as the roles, titles, and societal labels that once defined you begin to lose their meaning. You may no longer identify with the person you used to be, the version of yourself that was tied to career achievements, social status, or other external markers. This process, often referred to as ego dissolution, can leave you feeling as though who you are is now elusive or undefined. Before awakening, it's common to build your sense of self around what you do, the people you associate with, or the things you've accomplished. Whether it's being a parent, a professional, a friend, or a community leader, these roles create a structured identity that helps you navigate life. But after awakening, you may start to realize that these labels are just layers on the surface and don't truly reflect the depth of your being. This dissolution of ego can feel like a loss at first. You might find yourself questioning your place in the world or feeling confused about what to do next. The things that used to give you a sense of purpose, like a job title or social identity, might no longer resonate. You may feel detached from your previous goals and ambitions as they seem less important compared to the deeper, more spiritual understanding you've gained. Outward success to inward peace. You start valuing experiences over things, connection over competition, and purpose over prestige. For instance, where you once may have worked long hours chasing promotions or recognition, you might now find yourself seeking a job that aligns with your values or gives you more time for personal growth. The idea of accumulating wealth might seem less important than using your resources to help others or improve your own well-being. This detachment doesn't mean you'll abandon all material things or that money and comfort no longer matter. Instead, you start seeing them as tools rather than goals. You use what you have wisely, but no longer base your self-worth on how much you own. The endless pursuit of more becomes less appealing because your happiness no longer depends on what's outside of you. Instead, you might find joy in simpler things, a meaningful conversation, time spent in nature, or personal moments of growth and reflection. You shift from wanting more to appreciating what you already have. This change in perspective is one of the most profound effects of spiritual awakening, leading you to a life that feels more aligned with your true self and values. The chase for external validation ends and you begin living in a way that nurtures your soul. After a spiritual awakening, One of the most intriguing and puzzling experiences is how time feels different. It no longer seems to move in the structured way you're used to. Instead, it becomes more fluid, and the boundaries between the past, present, and future often blur. This can lead to moments where you feel like time is speeding up, slowing down, or even standing still. Some people describe it as living in a state where everything seems to happen all at once. You might start to experience déjà vu more frequently, feeling like you've lived through a particular moment before, even though it's happening for the first time. This sensation can make time seem cyclical rather than linear, as if events are repeating or somehow connected across different points in your life. It's as though you're tapping into a deeper understanding of how time really works, beyond the clock and calendar. One possible reason for this shift is that during spiritual awakening, your perception of reality expands. You're no longer just living in the present moment in a typical, linear fashion. Instead, you become more attuned to the flow of time, which is more complex and multidimensional than we usually think. You may find yourself reflecting on past events with new clarity, understanding how they've shaped your current experiences in ways you didn't see before. The future too might feel closer, with a sense that certain outcomes are already unfolding. This new relationship with time can lead to profound insights. You might have moments of timeless clarity where you feel completely present and connected to everything around you, almost as if you're outside of time altogether. In these moments, you may experience deep peace as the worries of the past and the anxieties about the future fade away. However, this fluid sense of time can also be disorienting. You might feel like time is slipping away or that you're living in a dreamlike state. Days can pass in a blur, or minutes might stretch into what feels like hours. It's important to remember that this is a natural part of your spiritual growth, and over time, you'll learn to navigate it with more ease. Ultimately, this shift in how you experience time is a reminder that there's more to life than what we perceive on the surface. It invites you to live more mindfully, embracing each moment for what it is, without getting caught up in the rush of day-to-day life. After a spiritual awakening, many people start to feel like an outsider, even when they are surrounded by close friends and family. This sense of not belonging can be surprising and even unsettling at times. It's as if the inner transformation you've gone through has created a gap between the new version of yourself and the world you used to fit into so easily. Before your awakening, you may have shared similar interests, beliefs, and goals with those around you. But after experiencing such a profound internal shift, your priorities and perspectives often change. Conversations and activities that once felt enjoyable might now seem shallow or unimportant. You might find yourself craving deeper, more meaningful interactions, which can be difficult to find in your existing relationships. This disconnect can lead to feelings of isolation. Even in a room full of people, you might feel like no one truly understands what you're going through. While your friends and family may not have changed, you have. And this change can make you feel like you no longer relate to the things that used to connect you to others. It's as if you're living in a different reality, and it can be hard to explain your new way of seeing the world to